Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Much warmer day on deck today, but a lot more windier. The big fire danger risk today, so I'll be on high alert, ready to go fight a big grass fire or fire in the woods or something like that, which it's possible with this kind of wind and the dryness. You know, a spark could get something going. So doing that. A lot of things going on as normal in the news. It's just a new day and all kinds of new drama all the time. They've established a Bitcoin reserve or cryptocurrency reserve, and from what I'm understanding now, they made it sound like at first that the government would be investing money into cryptocurrency. That doesn't look like that's happening, at least not yet. Basically, they're just taking the existing cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, that the United States has and calling it a cryptocurrency reserve. It's somewhere close to around 200,000 coins, something like that. I can't remember the exact number. But that's moving forward, making cryptocurrency more official. Of course, the development of artificial intelligence is continually moving forward, especially with Elon Musk. His new AI platform seems to be advancing pretty quickly and becoming very popular, and just updates constantly. He's still pushing for going to the Mars. Had a Starship test flight yesterday. It didn't go very well, blew up, but that stuff happens. I know it's advancement, right? Some people are all excited about it. New technologies, new advancements. Oh, it's great. Maybe it could be, but I don't know. It's starting to feel like it's getting closer and closer into that beast system of the more advanced technologies, especially with AI and cryptocurrency. There's still more and more talk of how artificial intelligence can replace all of these different industries, replace all these different people, even your doctor. All of that is building. So I'm not saying that Bitcoin or that Elon Musk's AI is the beast or the beast system, but I do believe that the framework is being developed, and so I think that's what we're seeing happen in that area. It's interesting, all that stuff's going on, all this other stuff's going on in the news, but kind of forgotten, I guess, about the Fort Knox audit. That's not being talked about anymore. The Epstein files, the 9/11 files, the JFK files, the real ones, all that's kind of been put on the back burner, right? It's interesting how that works. Stuff going on still with the whole Ukraine and the European front of what's going on. I still say that a larger, greater war is building. The European Union said that they were going to pledge $800 billion to rearmament in Europe. Yesterday, an emergency meeting was held, and that did not pass. There were 5 countries that voted against it. Doesn't mean that it's dead and over with yet, but it just means that it's just not passed yet. They've got to do their politicking to get things going. If this happens, this is the thing. What I've said before with the president, I'm not saying he's not a smart man or he doesn't know what he's doing, but it doesn't mean that everything he does is going to work out as planned. And if this happens, if Europe decides to, rapidly rebuild its military powers and start sending more stuff to Ukraine, which they already have been doing that, it could potentially, kind of nullify or take away the cards that the United States has against Ukraine and the whole war. If Europe was able to, and I'm not saying they could, but if Europe was able to fund the war without the United States, well, that kind of puts us into a place where we now no longer hold any cards. So we'll see how that happens. A lot of stuff going on in just global politics as a general, with China and Taiwan. Taiwan saying that China's getting too close for comfort once again. They're flying all kinds of spy balloons around them. There's a lot of talk, although I haven't seen a lot of evidence. There's just been internet talk that Russia is uncomfortable being so close and so dependent upon China as trade partners, and so they might be maybe trying to buddy up more with the United States because of that. The problem that I see with that is that I think it would be a bad deal for Russia if they kind of reneged on their pledges of alliances with China. And so I'm not feeling that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not happening. But it just, I think some of that is propaganda online. What we have to realize, though, is that above all of this news that goes on, that it's constantly changing every day. All of this stuff that's happening, it's not just according to the globalist plan or the World Economic Forum's plan or Trump's plan or Elon Musk's plan, whatever. It's not just that. It's going according to God's plan. And we have to hold on to that faith that what is happening is because it's according to His will. Whether it's good or bad. If Trump turns out to be the worst, most evil president in the world, then we have to hope that and believe that was the will of the Father. If he turns out to be the greatest thing since sliced bread and leads us into an era of freedom and liberty and all of this kind of stuff, then that was the Father's plan. And I think sometimes we as believers, we get wrapped up in all this stuff. And we kind of forget that there's someone bigger in charge than Donald Trump or the European Union or the United Nations or whatever. There's someone bigger than that, and He's the one in charge. And we have to hold on to that faith that He is leading our lives. But then we also have to be submissive to that, and so that when He's calling us to do a certain thing or guiding us to do it into a certain area, we have to be receptive to that. And I've always said that that's one of the hardest things for us as humans, and especially men, is to be submissive to the Father's will. We want to be in charge of our lives. We want to be in charge of what's going on and have a good idea of what to do and when to do and how to do it. And sometimes we have to relinquish that. It doesn't mean that it changes, our direction and goals when it comes to preparedness and self-sufficiency. It's just that we need to be more capable and able to listen and hear and to change and to do His will. Pray for discernment. This is a time period that we need to be doing that, because there's so much out there that's going on, and there's so much propaganda, and I think lies. I think there's just lies and deception that's going on from both sides. I'm not pointing any fingers. There's just lies and deceptions. And this has been going on for years now, but it seems to be just getting worse daily. And we need to be prepared for that. We need to be ready. And the only way that we can be ready for that kind of stuff is to have a closer relationship, a closer walk with the Father. And so we have to really commit ourselves to hiding His Word in our heart. Really commit ourselves to praying for discernment and spending more time with it, because the world is becoming worse. And just because Donald Trump is the president does not mean that the world has all of a sudden gotten better. He's not that powerful. He's not that good. Okay? Maybe great, but he's not that. The world is becoming a more evil place. And we're getting closer and closer to the end. I don't know when that is, but we are getting closer and closer to it. And so we have to, even though we see all this stuff that's going on in the world, we also have to continually develop and really kind of solidify and kind of harden, bond ourselves to the Father, so that we're not being swayed by the world, not in the way that everyone else, that we have a solid rock to stand on, right? When you're walking through those rough waters, and you find in that good rock to stand on if you're trying to cross a river. That's what I'm talking about. We need to do that and stay committed to that, because it's going to get worse. It's going to get harder. It's going to get more persecution, more difficulty on seeing the truth and knowing where to go, which path to choose. And that's why we need His help. So with all of this stuff that's going on in the world today, how bad it is, we know that there is goodness, there is light, there is hope. Not the false kind, the real kind. And you need to be praying every day to Jesus, Yeshua. You need to be building that bond. I don't know how else to. I try to put it in the simplest terms, not in some big fancy preacher theological seminary terms. Just finding a closeness, developing the relationship. And you do that through reading the Bible, reading His Word. You do that through prayer. You do that through making a commitment to be set apart, to be as Christ-like as possible. And so, with all of this stuff that's going on, really, that's, if you do nothing else but that, you'll be winning. Let's put it that way. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.